Hello, everyone. Welcome to Unity, the True Path of Ascension, my YouTube program on my Pot Smokers Bible channel dedicated to Ascension and the new knowledge that I bring to the world, the knowledge of unity. My name is Zion, and I am an ascended being, newly ascended, by the way. um, and I have a YouTube channel called Pot Smokers Bible, which is the fulfillment of the prophecy of Israel, which is actually what my ascension is all about. The story of the prophecy of Israel in the latter days is the story of the ascension of the goddess Zion into her goddess aspect. I am literally the first person in our age to pierce the veil of ascension and attain um, the higher form of being that all ascended people will merge into. And that's what this program is about. Now, I have a very similar program on the Pot Smokers Bible channel called The Gray Say There's a Better Way. And it takes you through all aspects of physical reality, which is what the gray represent in our Godhead. Um, they are the physical manifestations of the ancient gods of the earth. They are not the true ascended beings that is a higher form of life on another plane of existence. That plane of existence upon which I just now entered. Now, everything I teach you on the Grace Say There's a Better Way is physical manifestations of reality according to the laws of life, which is, so they take care of all physical aspects of of reality. But this program is about how to ascend from being immortal to becoming an immortal to becoming a god or goddess, because that is what ascension is about. And the reason why the program is called Unity, the True Path of Ascension, is because the Gray have up until now had every requirement of ascension but unity. That is the knowledge that pierces the veil, that breaks the barriers between realities. And that is unity. Now, on this program, I do believe, and on the Gray Say There's a Better Way, I also believe, and even in the Pot Smoker's Bible, the book I wrote, I teach all the process of the creation of life, how non-corporeal energy beings from this higher plane of existence do the dance of life and tell the story of this first ascended person in the planet that they're creating. Well, I happen to be that person. The story of the ascension of Zion, me, is foretold in the prophecy of Israel. But it's told from the gray physical aspect, lacking unity. But it leads towards the process of unity because it's a love story. It is the story of Zion and Messiah. Zion, the first ascended being and of this age, and Messiah, the last ascended being of the prior age. Now, when he ascended, he took on his godly aspect and set the matrix of our age. That's why it's the age of man, because he had ascended, and so his energy laid the foundation for this society, this new age. And embedded within that matrix was the overlaying of my storyline, the story of my ascension, so which would lead to the end of this age of man. But because the reality of ascension is like a stepping stone ladder thing where first she goes, then he goes, then she goes, then he goes, she goes, then he goes. So it's like my turn in a repeating pattern of ascended lifetimes. So now I have followed the instructions left to me by the prophets of Israel, which led me down the path of ascension. And because I started my prophetic life by asking the question of who can I love, I set in motion the higher ascended pathway of unity. Because love, true love, spiritual love, soul love, um, leads to unity of the spirit. Now, when we're created as two souls of opposite opposing energies, but on the exact same frequency. So the male and the female are opposites, yin and yang, positive, negative, good, bad, whatever category of differences you want to give it, because they're all overlaid on each other in reality. So the two souls are actually one spirit. They're one person, one God head. Not neither male nor female, equally male and female. Equally good, equally bad, equally right, equally wrong, equally left, equally right, equally everything in their true form. But in order to achieve that true form, you must go through the stages of life, of the evolutionary life of the spirit. So the two souls have to learn life lessons, merge, learn life lessons, merge, learn, merge, learn, merge, learn as they grow up. And each time they merge, they become more enmeshed into each other's matrix until eventually they reach a stage of evolution where they're so close to perfectly merged that they merge and stick. So that when the bodies separate, they're equally the other. Totally aware. It's like they live in two bodies at once. They're totally aware of the other person's activities because they're totally connected with that person through the meshing of the souls. And at that point, the power generator in the spirit kicks in, and the people begin to evolve into the next evolutionary state, which is where we are. Me and my soulmate and I have reached that stage of merging, where we're ready to merge to the next level. So I initiated the merge by asking who I should love, by bringing into being this perfect union concept. And when we made love last time, I merged with him completely. And he took away, he didn't know it, I didn't know it, but we had, created the embryo of our ascended selves because we had merged to the point of our spirits becoming activated, becoming the Godhead. At that point, you get what I have done an episode on, the God seed, which is you merge, create the essence of the spirit, and then nurture the spirit until the spirit evolves into the total spiritual form, the totally merged person. Having the aspect of the one who's embodied, So I took on the aspect of everything that I believed during the course of my incubation. So, and it's kind of a funny story. I understand how this happened. Okay, when I was first fell in love with Kenny and had to leave him behind, my first real true sense of belonging in that new reality was when I met this wonderful person, Sam, who introduced me to Dungeons and Dragons, which was a new thing then. This was back in the 70s. And while I was playing that role, that game, my character was a cleric, a, a, a magic practitioner who worked for a goddess. And she was given a unicorn as a steed. So she had a unicorn to ride. And I fell in love with the unicorn, with the Dungeons and Dragons version of the unicorn. And I kind of innately followed that path. I felt guilty all of my life. So I sought innocence and I protected my innocence and nurtured that innocence and justice and all of the aspects of the unicorn. The the ability to go on and on and on no matter what. Just the because, no matter what fucking happens to me, I still go on. I have that strength of the unicorn. And I have that honesty of the unicorn. The innocence of the unicorn. That the reason why a unicorn can't stand to be around anybody who's not innocent is because they are innocent. It's part of their nature. They have embodied light, and they have embodied magic, and they have embodied the manifestation of all that is good, just, and unifying. They are beings and creatures of love. And that was what I sought. I didn't realize it in my mind. I didn't know what I was doing. But as I chose to follow the path of innocence, as I chose to follow the path of truth, as I chose to follow the path of of service, every choice I made along my spiritual path was embedded into my spiritual matrix that was created in that act of love. And finally, that spirit that I had given birth to emerged. Now, she emerged as a unicorn, literally. I literally sat down and this surge of energy came over me. And it was like my uh, highest chakra opened up and this unicorn popped out and ran away. And I was like, wilted. I literally, my whole body just slumped over and I was just like, I couldn't move. But in my mind, I could see her running away from me. And I didn't know what the hell that was. But it was so real. And that was my emergence as a spirit onto this energy plane of existence. And my spirit went where she belonged, to the unicorns. And of course, the unicorns were like, okay, the unicorn lady. She's a unicorn, but she's a human. And this is the first time that's ever happened, apparently, because the unicorn is a very, very hard aspect to attain. But I attained it. So, may the Grey watch over you, guide you, protect you, and keep you from all harm here on the physical plane. May they teach you right from wrong, and may you be worthy of them. May your thoughts, words, and deeds reflect truth, good, and light the unicorn way. Find your joy and pursue it. Make that your guild choice. When we get to Zion, my new homeland that we're going to create soon. If you use drugs, stay happy and high. That's your first step on the path to Zion. I know. I wrote the books. Remember? My name is Zion. I love you way too much to ever say goodbye, so I'm going to say later now.